Ladies and gentlemen, this is a story about a man who loved the road. Perhaps too much. I knew every station platform, every corner cafe light, every city with a different skyline, every train that left at night. I learned to smile while saying goodbye, learned to travel without weight, learned to tell myself, keep moving, before it became too late. People called me independent, called me free, and called me brave, but nobody asked the obvious. What if I never stayed? What if he never stayed? I carried maps like they were answers, carried stories half complete. Every destination reached became another reason to leave. Then one evening in a crowded room, someone looked and simply said, "You don't act like someone traveling, you act like someone running." And suddenly, the room got quieter than any highway I'd ever known. I'm the man who never stayed, always 1 foot out the door. Every promise had an ending, every room became before. I'm the man who never stayed until the music changed key. And somewhere in the middle, I realized the one leaving was me. The one leaving was me. You spoke about ordinary evenings like they belonged in songs. Sunday mornings, open windows, and staying wasn't wrong. You asked, what's so frightening about being remembered? I laughed, because nobody had ever asked me that. The piano danced beneath the silence, the bass kept walking slow, and suddenly every road I'd taken had nowhere left to go. I thought movement meant becoming, I thought distance meant alive. But roads don't clap when curtains close, roads don't ask if you survive. People do. And maybe after all these years, I finally wanted to be seen. I'm the man who never stayed, but tonight I changed the line. No more exits in my pocket, no more racing against time. I'm the man who never stayed, but the story changed somehow, because for the very first time, I am here right now. Ladies and gentlemen, for years, I thought the road was freedom. Turns out, it was the stage, and this was home. Don't ask where you've been. I left another town this morning without remembering the street. Coffee cooling in the cup holder, dust collecting on the seat. I used to call that independence, like moving men I couldn't lose, like nobody could disappoint me if nobody got to choose. I learned how to travel lightly, learned how to leave before the rain, learned how to make every ending sound temporary again. But somewhere after midnight, your voice stayed. You never asked me to stop, never asked me what came next. You only said you looked tired, and somehow it felt like rest. Somewhere between goodbye and home, I stopped counting miles, stopped chasing every horizon, stopped pretending all the while. Somewhere between goodbye and home, I found something true. And after every road I followed, I kept coming back to you. Back to you, back to you. You talked about ordinary evenings like they were worth remembering. Open windows, old records, and mornings without leaving. You asked, when was the last time you stayed somewhere without checking the clock? I laughed because I couldn't remember. The electric guitar kept breathing, bass moved slowly underneath, and somehow all my old directions started feeling incomplete. Maybe freedom isn't distance, maybe peace is an escape, maybe all this moving was only another way to wait. Somewhere between goodbye and home, I stopped counting miles, stopped chasing every horizon, stopped pretending all the while. Somewhere between goodbye and home, I found something true. And after every road I followed, I kept coming back to you. Back to you, back to you, yeah. Electric could divide, overdrive, living lives. I thought I needed movement to prove I was alive, but maybe being alive is opening the door and not leaving the first chance you get. And maybe that's what this is. Somewhere between goodbye and home, I finally understood because I already know. Home was a place, turns out it was a person. I used to think every road had one more answer. Left before the sun most mornings, before the world could say goodbye. Another tank of borrowed freedom, another piece of open sky. I learned the shape of gas station windows, the sound of tires in the rain, how to turn every conversation into something incomplete again. I kept old postcards in the console, names inside my sleeve, thinking if I never stopped anywhere, nothing could ever leave. But somewhere in the middle of nowhere, your memory caught up. You once said, you always talk about leaving. What happens if one day you don't? I laughed, but I remembered. One more town before home, that's what I always said. One more road, one more sunrise, one more place ahead. One more town before home, but somewhere along the line I stopped looking at the horizon and started looking behind to you. You never spoke in big conclusions, never made forever sound grand. You just talked about ordinary evenings like they were enough to understand. You said, maybe home isn't where you stay, maybe it's where you stop pretending. I smiled because nobody had ever said something so small that felt so true. The fretless bass moved underneath us, the electric guitar stretched through the room, and suddenly all my old directions didn't feel so important. Maybe freedom isn't distance, maybe peace isn't escape. Maybe some people stay moving because slowing down feels strange. One more town before home, that's what I always said. One more road, one more sunrise, one more place ahead. One more town before home, but somewhere along the line I stopped looking at the horizon and started looking behind to you. Like evening becoming memory. I thought the road would finish me, turn me into somebody new. But roads don't remember names, people do. And maybe after all these years, I wasn't running towards something. I was running from being known. One more town before home. I don't say that anymore, because not every open highway needs another door. One more town before home. Now the answer feels clear. Home was never waiting somewhere else. It was already here. With you, with you, with you. With you. Finger picked to think. Every road had one more answer. I lived to think. Every road had one more answer. I left before the sun most mornings, before the world could say goodbye. Another tank of borrowed freedom, another piece of open sky. I learned the shape of gas station windows, the sound of tires in the rain, how to turn every conversation into something incomplete again. I kept old postcards in the console and names inside my sleeve, thinking if I never stopped anywhere, nothing could ever leave. But somewhere in the middle of nowhere, your memory caught up. You once said, you always talk about leaving. What happens if one day you don't? I laughed, but I remember. One more town before home, that's what I always said. One more road, one more sunrise, one more place ahead. One more town before home, but somewhere along the line I stopped looking at the horizon and started looking behind to you. You never spoke in big conclusions, never made forever sound grand. You just talked about ordinary evenings like they were enough to understand. You said, maybe home isn't where you stay, maybe it's where you stop pretending. I smiled, because nobody had ever said something so small that felt so true.
Clean electric guitar opens with gentle and it feels. Piano lands softly beneath the notes. Bass moves like slow breathing. The room feels larger than before. Funny how some places remember you more than you remember them. I spent years driving through sunsets like they owed me something new. Every town became a photograph before I ever knew the view. I learned to leave without explaining, learned to travel light and fast, like staying anywhere too long would make the feeling last. I kept old ticket stubs and receipts, inside the glove box of my life, thinking motion meant direction, thinking movement meant alive. Then one evening you said quietly, you don't look like you're going anymore. I laughed because I didn't know what someone like me was supposed to do. If leaving stopped working, I was only passing through. Every city, every room, every promise, every summer, every late night afternoon. I was only passing through until I looked and found you there. And suddenly I wanted to stay long enough to care. Stay long enough to care. You never asked about my old roads, I never counted where I'd been. You just made ordinary moments feel bigger than they'd been. You said, maybe home isn't permanent, maybe it's temporary, and that's enough. I smiled, because nobody had ever made temporary sound beautiful. The guitar opened into chords, the organ warmed the empty space, and somehow all the roads behind me stopped asking to be chased. Maybe freedom isn't distance, maybe peace isn't control. Maybe I kept moving because stillness asked too much. I was only passing through every city, every room, every promise, every summer, every late night afternoon. I was only passing through until I looked and found you there. And suddenly I wanted to stay long enough to care. Stay long enough to care. Electric guitar rises slowly, warm overdrive and soft delay. The melody stretches upward like evening becoming memory. I thought the road would keep me safe, because roads don't ask for anything, but roads don't hold your hand. Roads don't remember your stories, roads don't leave the light on. People do, and maybe that's what I've been missing. I was only passing through until the night became a place, until somebody looked at me and didn't need me to change. I was only passing through, but now these old wheels feel new. And after every road I follow, I finally found something worth coming back to. Coming back to. Coming back to. Electric guitar returns, piano lands softly underneath, organ fades like evening air. Maybe I wasn't lost, maybe I just never stayed. Long enough to know.
Ladies and gentlemen, This is a story about a man who loved the road. Perhaps too much. I knew every station platform, every corner cafe light, every city with a different skyline, every train that left at night. I learned to smile while saying goodbye, learned to travel without weight, learned to tell myself, keep moving, before it became too late. People called me independent, called me free, and called me brave, but nobody asked the obvious. What if I never stay? What if he never stayed? I carried maps like they were answers, carried stories half complete. Every destination reached became another reason to leave. Then one evening in a crowded room, someone looked and simply said, you don't act like someone traveling, you act like someone running. And suddenly, the room got quieter than any highway I'd ever known. I'm the man who never stayed, always 1 foot out the door. Every promise had an ending, every room became before. I'm the man who never stayed until the music changed key. And somewhere in the middle, I realized the one leaving was me. The one leaving was me. You spoke about ordinary evenings like they belonged in songs. Sunday mornings, open windows, and staying wasn't wrong. You asked, what's so frightening about being remembered? I laughed, because nobody had ever asked me that. The piano danced beneath the silence, the bass kept walking slow, and suddenly every road I'd taken had nowhere left to go. I thought movement meant becoming, I thought distance meant alive. But roads don't clap when curtains close, roads don't ask if you survive. People do. And maybe after all these years, I finally wanted to be seen. I'm the man who never stayed, but tonight I changed the line. No more exits in my pocket, no more racing against time. I'm the man who never stayed, but the story changed somehow, because for the very first time I am here right now. Ladies and gentlemen, for years I thought the road was freedom. Turns out it was the stage, and this was home.
don't ask where you've been. I left another town this morning without remembering the street. Coffee cooling in the cup holder, dust collecting on the seat. I used to call that independence, like moving men I couldn't lose, like nobody could disappoint me if nobody got to choose. I learned how to travel lightly, learned how to leave before the rain, learned how to make every ending sound temporary again. But somewhere after midnight, your voice stayed. You never asked me to stop, never asked me what came next. You only said you looked tired, and somehow it felt like rest. Somewhere between goodbye and home, I stopped counting miles, stopped chasing every horizon, stop pretending all the while. Somewhere between goodbye and home, I found something true. And after every road I followed, I kept coming back to you. Back to you, back to you. You talked about ordinary evenings like they were worth remembering. Open windows, old records, and mornings without leaving. You asked when was the last time you stayed somewhere without checking the clock. I laughed because I couldn't remember. The electric guitar kept breathing, bass moved slowly underneath, and somehow all my old directions started feeling incomplete. Maybe freedom isn't distance, maybe peace is an escape, maybe all this moving was only another way to wait. Somewhere between goodbye and home, I stopped counting miles, stopped chasing every horizon, stopped pretending all the while. Somewhere between goodbye and home, I found something true. And after every road I followed, I kept coming back to you. Back to you, back to you, yeah. Electric divide overdrive, living lives. I thought I needed movement to prove I was alive, but maybe being alive is opening the door and not leaving the first chance you get. And maybe that's what this is. Somewhere between goodbye and home, I finally understood 'cause I already know. Already know. Already know. Already know. For years I thought home was a place. Turns out it was a person. I used to think every road had one more answer. Left before the sun most mornings, before the world could say goodbye. Another tank of borrowed freedom, another piece of open sky. I learned the shape of gas station windows, the sound of tires in the rain, how to turn every conversation into something incomplete again. I kept old postcards in the console, the names inside my sleeve, thinking if I never stopped anywhere, nothing could ever leave. But somewhere in the middle of nowhere, your memory caught up. You once said you always talk about leaving. What happens if one day you don't? I laughed, but I remembered. One more town before home, that's what I always said. One more road, one more sunrise, one more place ahead. One more town before home, but somewhere along the line I stopped looking at the horizon and started looking behind to you. You never spoke in big conclusions, never made forever sound grand. You just talked about ordinary evenings like they were enough to understand. You said, maybe home isn't where you stay, maybe it's where you stop pretending. I smiled, because nobody had ever said something so small that felt so true. The fretless bass moved underneath us, the electric guitar stretched through the room, and suddenly all my old directions didn't feel so important. Maybe freedom isn't distance, maybe peace isn't escape. Maybe some people stay moving because slowing down feels strange. One more town before home, that's what I always said. One more road, one more sunrise, one more place ahead. One more town before home, but somewhere along the line I stopped looking at the horizon and started looking behind to you. Like evening becoming memory. I thought the road would finish me, turn me into somebody new. But roads don't remember names, people do. And maybe after all these years, I wasn't running towards something. I was running from being known. One more town before home. I don't say that anymore, because not every open highway needs another door. One more town before home. Now the answer feels clear. Home was never waiting somewhere else. It was already here. With you, with you, with you. With you. Finger picked to think. Every road had one more answer. I lived to think. Every road had one more answer. I left before the sun most mornings, before the world could say goodbye. Another tank of borrowed freedom, another piece of open sky. I learned the shape of gas station windows, the sound of tires in the rain, how to turn every conversation into something incomplete again. I kept old postcards in the console and names inside my sleeve, thinking if I never stopped anywhere, nothing could ever leave. But somewhere in the middle of nowhere, your memory caught up. You once said, you always talk about leaving. What happens if one day you don't? I left, but I remember. One more town before home, that's what I always said. One more road, one more sunrise, one more place ahead. One more town before home, but somewhere along the line I stopped looking at the horizon and started looking behind to you. You never spoke in big conclusions, never made forever sound grand. You just talked about ordinary evenings like they were enough to understand. You said, maybe home isn't where you stay, maybe it's where you stop pretending. I smiled, because nobody had ever said something so small that felt so true.
Clean electric guitar opens with gentle land it feels. Piano lands softly beneath the notes. Bass moves like slow breathing. The room feels larger than before. Funny how some places remember you more than you remember them. I spent years driving through sunsets like they owed me something new. Every town became a photograph before I ever knew the view. I learned to leave without explaining, learned to travel light and fast, like staying anywhere too long
would make the feeling last. I kept old ticket stubs and receipts inside the glove box of my life, thinking motion meant direction, thinking movement meant alive. Then one evening you said quietly, "You don't look like you're going anymore." I laughed because I didn't know what someone like me was supposed to do. If leaving stopped working, I was only passing through. Every city, every room, every promise, every summer, every late night afternoon. I was only passing through until I looked and found you there. And suddenly I wanted to stay long enough to care. Stay long enough to care. You never asked about my old roads, I never counted where I'd been. You just made ordinary moments feel bigger than they'd been. You said, maybe home isn't permanent, maybe it's temporary, and that's enough. I smiled, because nobody had ever made temporary sound beautiful. The guitar opened into chords, the organ warmed the empty space, and somehow all the roads behind me stopped asking to be chased. Maybe freedom isn't distance, maybe peace isn't control. Maybe I kept moving because stillness asked too much. I was only passing through every city, every room, every promise, every summer, every late night afternoon. I was only passing through until I looked and found you there. And suddenly I wanted to stay long enough to care. Stay long enough to care. Electric guitar rises slowly, warm overdrive and soft delay. The melody stretches upward like evening becoming memory. I thought the road would keep me safe, because roads don't ask for anything, but roads don't hold your hand. Roads don't remember your stories, roads don't leave the light on. People do, and maybe that's what I've been missing. I was only passing through until the night became a place, until somebody looked at me and didn't need me to change. I was only passing through, but now these old wheels feel new. And after every road I follow, I finally found something worth coming back to. Coming back to. Coming back to. Electric guitar returns, piano lands softly underneath, organ fades like evening air. Maybe I wasn't lost, maybe I just never stayed.